Quarterfinal number 2, folks, the Chiefs and the Reds, and it was actually a cracking game. Despite all the predictions of it being a flogging, the Reds put up a hell of a go, and the Chiefs just kind of managed to get through, beyond a score at the end of the game, but still, they were absolutely made to work for it. We'll go through some key events and stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts, but yeah, it's a good crowd. Like, not a sellout, but pretty good crowd. Like, hostile, man. I love it. Like, when Lienert was taking his goal kicks, the cowbell was going nuts. The atmosphere at the New Zealand rugby game, phenomenal. At Super Rugby, and Brad Thorne's potential final game, it had a lot riding on it. And we got a spectacle. Maybe this kind of goes in the face of how, the fact that so many teams qualify. Like, it's first against 8th, the team that just scraped through, but they gave a good go of it. So, the Reds, 8 phases early, good kick from Jock Campbell. Chiefs win turnover on D. Sam Cane keeps the Reds out early. And then a bit of a kicking duel. There was a lot of kicking in this game. A lot of kicking. It's not always a bad thing, but sometimes it left a little bit to be desired. But the Chiefs won the early kicking duel. Poihipi's kick pass to Narawa. Looked to have Narawa going over for a try, but because Narawa put a little grubber through, they deemed that he pushed one of the Reds players in the back, which stopped the Reds player from being able to gather the ball in his own goal area to give Naitoa the chance to score. Now, to be honest, I don't reckon the Reds player was going to get it, but also I don't reckon Naitoa should be pushing him in the back. It was dumb. Don't need to do it. Why do it? The Reds player, I forget who it was kind of running a decent line to get in his way, but he's entitled to do that. I think if Naitoa showed a little bit more patience there, he would have got a try, but denied early the Reds. And then, that's kind of like one error, I guess, from the Chiefs, and then they doubled down on it. Like, they got a scrum, attacking scrum, right on the Reds' goal line. The ball pops out of the back. None of the Chiefs guys react. McCrite, who's having a phenomenal season, by the way, pounces on the ball and then tears upfield, gives it to Wilson. Harry Wilson cranks through some run meters. He gets it to Fluke. Fluke kicks a 50-22 because none of the Chiefs defenders are back. Sets a bit of attacking play for the Reds. At one point, they set a midfield maul out of nowhere, like some set play. It was glorious stuff. They went through some phases. They got advantage. They flicked it wide. And then Vunivalu with the pass from James O'Connor. Goodness gracious me. What a try. 5-0 to the Reds. Who would have thunk it that they get on the board first? What a well-worked try. A length of the field, essentially, if you go back to the fact that the Chiefs made that scrum error early on in the game. So, what a try. And the Chiefs were kind of compounding that error with some other errors. They conceded a penalty at the breakdown, one for not rolling, and then forward pass when Sowakula put in a wee offload. So, just kind of uncharacteristic errors from the Chiefs. But then, when the Reds had a chance to kick a penalty to put it beyond the single score, they missed that shot at goal. So, missed 3 points. And if you add up the missed kicks on the Reds, it's an unfortunate one for them because that's at least 3 early on, plus a couple of conversions. The Chiefs did get 3 points on the board for a late tackle on D-Mac at 18 minutes. That was Harry Wilson, was a bit guilty of that, bit over-eager. So 5 points to 3. The Reds are still in front, but then a second penalty a few minutes later puts the Chiefs in front 6-5. The more big hits, man. I think Harry Wilson put in one, and then one of them he got absolutely clobbered by, I think, Retallick. And Harry Wilson was just smiling through every moment of it, like, I just got tackled by Brodie Retallick. It was glorious. But, the penalties just keep coming. It goes from 5-0, 5-3, 6-5, and then 9-5. So the Chiefs are just ticking over the old scoreboard with D-Mac's boot. But then the Reds, their scrum starts to get on top, man, which was maybe a little bit unexpected. Win a penalty at the scrum. They opt for touch. They need some points before half-time is the note that I write. And they will get them, man. The maul goes close. And then Wilson, from like the next 2 phases, is able to just kind of roll over all the bodies and touch the ball down. So the TMO to check it, but it's cleared. Conversion misses, but they go 10 points to 9 ahead. So that's kind of 5 points left out there on the board. Obviously, if the Reds have got that early penalty, the whole game changes its dynamics. So you can't go back on it too much, but sure, they left some points out there is kind of the point I'm making with the boot. The Reds won another penalty on 37 minutes, and I thought, man, this is genuinely another chance to put the Chiefs under the pump. Similar to what the Waratahs had against the Blues yesterday. But similar to the Waratahs, they lost the line out. So if you're a Reds fan, man, you got to look back at that one. When you had the momentum, that attacking chance to win a line out in your own, in your attacking area, failed to take it. So that's a bit of a let-off. And then the Chiefs, only a few minutes later, one of the few times they opted to run it instead of kicking it from their own half. They managed to get through, I think it was Shooter Stevenson with the line break after they'd kind of gone wide, coast to coast. And he passes it to Narawa, goes over, and it's a cracking conversion. So 10 points for the Reds at halftime, 16 for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs kind of wrestled that lead away by halftime. Possessions 55-45 to the Chiefs. Territories 52-48, but kicks from hand. If it felt like there was a lot of kicking, it's because there was. 27-23. Now, for context, the Blues-Waratahs game yesterday, in the entire game, was 22-17, kicks from hand. So this was 27-23 in one half of rugby. So there was a lot more kicking. But, I mean, offensive stats, clean breaks is 4-1. Defenders beaten is 15-6. So the Chiefs are still looking ultimately the more dangerous of the sides. But I do reckon the Reds, yeah, they'll be cursing a couple of missed chances. But they had more in the second half, man. I mean, the Chiefs' pressure continued in that second half. And they did continue to opt for the threes. Why not? 19 points to 10 makes it a 2-score game. But when the Reds have got one on 50 minutes, it's like a long kick. It's 50 metres, probably, with a slight angle. They've missed 2 conversions and a penalty, and they opt for the 3. And my dad's here, and he's thinking, no, he's got no chance. And I'm agreeing with him, like, nah, he's not going to get this, but absolutely nailed it. Liner. Long distance kick makes it 19-13, so back within a score. And then the Reds' defence kind of holds off that next Chiefs wave, which was crucial because so often you score against this bloody Chiefs side, they just come right back at you. So, I mean, again, Stevenson with the line break, they go 7 phases. But yeah, eventually the Chiefs guys not only knocked it on, but then conceded a scrum penalty from the resulting scrum. So the Reds not only hold, but they get a penalty to exit, and then to double down and absolutely flip the momentum on its head, Liner kicks a pretty sweet 50-22. So, yeah, man, it gives them a chance to go from just barely holding on to attacking. What can they do with it? Well, they maul it, the maul goes close, and then there's a pick and go on the blind side, and who gets it but bloody Vunivalu, of all people. Like, really good awareness from him. He played a smart game, man. Like, he just picks it up the ball, and it was kind of telegraphed because he looked which way he was going to go. But, yeah, the Chiefs guys just couldn't stop it. Retallick got there slightly too late. He went under, was it Nanai-Seturo? Yeah, just kind of fended him off and was able to dot it down. So, great try. Proper, kind of like 14-pointer in terms of being able to hold on, stop you from scoring 7, and we score 7 of our own. Great conversion. Finally nails that one. So, 20 points to 19. The Reds go into the lead with the final quarter of the game to go. James O'Connor kicks a 50-22 from a Reds scrum. Like, that's their third 50-22 of the game, man. It was phenomenal stuff. And they go about 5 phases in the Chiefs 22, but eventually concede a penalty. And I do feel like that's the moment where the Chiefs really wrestled the game away from the Reds. I think if the Reds score there or are able to kind of go through more phases than just the 5, maybe they're able to kind of, at least get a 3-pointer out of it. Maybe get themselves a try, put a bit more pressure on the Chiefs, keep them camped down their own end, but nah. The Chiefs are able to get an exit. Then they go 13 phases, they get advantage. The grubber kick doesn't work, but they're able to get a 3-pointer out of it. So that takes the pressure off. D-Mac straight out in front, so 22-20. The lead changes back in favour of the Chiefs, and it will not change again for the rest of the game. Narawa goes inches away. About 4 minutes later, Fluke with a try saver and Tate McDermott with a 1 penalty at the breakdown, but 76 minutes. Sowakula, he is able to put the game pretty much beyond doubt. It all starts from basically an up and under, which Liner, sadly, is unable to take. Gives the Chiefs knock-on advantage. They're able to go through a heap of phases. And, eventually Sowakula's the go, finishes it off. So, 29-20. That is your final score. The Reds genuinely gave it a good go. For the 8th place team, who was supposed to get done by 20-odd points, they put in a proper shift. I think the lead changed like 6 times in this game. Like, that's a proper knockout game. This is not a hiding. This is not 40, or was it 41-12 or what it was yesterday. A genuinely good game. Genuinely good crowd. Like hostile crowd with the cowbells. I love it. I love it. That's what you want when you go and kind of, using that home advantage when you're down in the Waikato. Possession 55-45 to the Chiefs. Territory 57-43 to the Chiefs. Kicks from hand finishes 39-39. So it was a fair bit of boot to ball. But clean breaks 8-1 Chiefs. Defenders beaten 24-14 Chiefs. Line out key for the Chiefs was 80%. The Reds only at 73%. So the line out let them down a bit. And the Chiefs tackling was at 91%, which is phenomenal. I mean, the Reds are at 88%, so they also defended really well. They had to make a lot more tackles with 205 to the Chiefs 131, but still, Reds boys can definitely hold their heads high. And I reckon going into a potentially pretty tough semi-final, the Chiefs will be better from having had a proper test rather than a kind of walkover. So Stevenson, 2 clean breaks, 5 defenders beaten, try assist. Naitoa, 3 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten, try for him. Sam Cane, not only does he get that early turnover, but 23 out of 24 tackles. Proper Warriors shift from him. Vunivalu, 5 defenders beaten, plus a couple of tries. McWright, 28 out of 28 tackles. Talk about a guy having a phenomenal season. That guy is probably in better form than Michael Hooper. What can I say? But there you go. You guys are spoiled for choice on the open side in Australia. But yeah, great quarterfinal. I'm about to sit down and watch the next one between the old Crusaders and the Fijian Drua. We'll see how that goes. You guys, let's your thoughts on this one. How'd you think it went? And I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.